You guys should name me. What's my name? Is it Sekinat or Fausiat? What name do you guys want to give me? You guys should name me in the comment section. In today's video, we are going to be making this gorgeous Zara cap together. My previous Zara cap video is my most watched video so far on the channel, and it only made sense for me to come back with another style of Zara cap one more time for the year. I'm also going to be sharing some tips that would help you while recreating yours. So if you want to know all about this process, please make sure you watch this video to the end. Do not skip any part so you don't come back asking questions that have already been answered in the video. Subscribe, like, share, and drop me comments. All right guys, let's get straight into today's video. Let's go. To make this Zara cap, I used a combination of shining poly fabric and Mikado fabric. Use any fabric that you like. You also need your Marco, you need your 1-inch elastic, you need your tape rule, you need your foam. I'm using the 1/2-inch foam. Feel free to use the 1-inch type of foam. You need your ruler, you need your cutting tools, which are thread snipper and scissors. This is my Mikado fabric already cut out. It's 30 inches long and 14 inches wide. I have 2 pieces already here. I'm showing you where you're going to take to your sewing machine and then sew on 1/2 inch. Leave one side open for turning the fabric inside out. What I'm doing here is I'm turning my fabric inside out. As you can see, I suggest that you notch the inner part so that when you turn the fabric inside out, the edges lay very smooth. What I'm doing here is I'm just cutting off the excess fabric at the sides and notching the inner part like I mentioned earlier. After notching, turn your fabric inside out and make sure that the edges come out totally, okay? You don't want any part of the edge of your fabric to be hiding inside. All these little steps will make all the difference in the neatness and beauty of your Zara cap. After doing this, take your fabric to your ironing board and give the fabric a very good press. After ironing, mark the center point of your Marco. My Marco is 20 inches long and 3.5 inches wide. Match the center of your Marco with the center of your fabric. Remember that our fabric is 30 inches long, so the midpoint is the 15 inches point of the fabric, and the midpoint of my Marco is the 10-inch point of the Marco. Okay, I marked the midpoint, match them to each other, and here I am showing you where you're going to sew on your sewing machine. You're sewing across the length where the Marco is sitting and across the sides as well to ensure that the Marco does not move around. Watch closely and replicate these steps on your own and be sure that the end result will look absolutely beautiful. This is where I'm going to be placing my elastic. I'm putting my elastic through the opening that we have at the side, and then I'm going to also place my fabric again under my presser foot and then sew the elastic in place like so. After sewing on the elastic on one side, I'm going to flip my fabric to the other side and sew my elastic again on the other side. Once this is done, I'm going to pull on my elastic slightly, and then after pulling, I'm going to secure the elastic at the point where I've already pulled to. Okay, depending on how stretchy you want your cap to be, pull on your elastic, and when you've pulled to the extent that you like, sew the elastic in place so that your fabric at the back or your cap at the back has some stretch to it. That is the essence of the elastic that we added, to give our cap a little bit of stretch in order to allow room for any hairstyle that you or your clients have on when wearing this cap. If you are using a stretchy fabric for your own Zara cap, you might not necessarily need to add elastic, but because Mikado fabric is a non-stretchy fabric, I had to put elastic at the back of the cap to allow for stretch. Alright guys, so I just thought to pop on here to explain what I'm doing. So this is my Zara cap after sewing the elastic in place. I hope you guys saw when I sewed this elastic in place here and here. So now I'm folding it right side. This is where the right side of our Zara cap will be. So I'm folding the Zara cap right side facing each other, and I'm going to go ahead to sew real quick. Sew it from here, from this base here. I hope we can see from this base here up until where this fold stops, this fold right here.
So I'm going to do that real quick. From this point right here where this fold stops, I'm going to create a curve like we are sewing a turban, but this time I'm going to attach a piece of elastic. I'm going to show us what I'm trying to say. So is this regular, is it ½ inch or a ¼ inch elastic? Now that's what we are going to be working with. I just want to pull out my elastic real quick. So from here to this point here, we are going to be working with this elastic. I'm going to just raise my presser foot up, place my elastic here. I think I even want to bring out my needle as well. Place my elastic here. All right, secure it in place. And as you are sewing the elastic, you are pulling on the elastic. This part requires some level of expertise. Let me zoom in so we can see what I'm talking about very clearly. So bring my light closer. Just be patient with it. I hope we all understood what I just did. So there will be no need to do that running stitch that we normally do for turban anymore.
Alright guys, so it's time to work on the twist detailing that we have on the cap. What I have here is my shiny poly fabric. You could also use a matching fabric, so that means you could have used Mikado as well, but I just wanted something different to just spice up the look. I'm folding my fabric now, and the dimension of this fabric is about 43 inches by 8 inches. Feel free to tweak it to your own desired measurement. I'm showing us where we are going to sew. We are sewing across the length, and then after sewing, we are going to insert this our piece of foam. I'm turning my fabric inside out now, and once I'm done turning it inside out, I'm going to use my bodkin to pass my foam through my fabric. Remember I said at the beginning of this video that we could have used a 1-inch foam just to make that twist detailing very poofy and beautiful, but this ½ inch piece of foam as well works. If you don't know the types of foam, I suggest that you get yourself up to speed with my videos. I have a video where I explained the sizes of foam. I'm going to try and link a video that is useful to us on the screen. What I'm showing us here is how we are going to sew our piece of fabric after we've passed the foam through, and now we are going to attach that piece of fabric to one side of the cap from the back. Explaining might not really do justice to this bit, so please watch closely how I'm illustrating. I'm going to take my fabric now, or my cap now, to my sewing machine and secure this our foam and fabric onto the cap. And once that is done, you guys see how it looks exactly. It will now be time for us to just twist the piece of fabric around. I don't know how to explain it, but just watch the way I'm flipping and twisting and attaching this piece of fabric to my cap. After doing this, I went ahead to apply glue onto the cap where the foam and the fabric will be sitting, just to make sure that this bit does not move around too much. But if you don't care, you don't have to put glue on yours. But because I just didn't like the way the thing was moving up and down when I didn't glue it down, I went ahead to use my fabric glue to just glue these bits down. The next thing I'm going to be doing is just working on a piece of decoration of some sort or embellishment of some sort. I'm using crinoline. This is the 6.5-inch wide type of crinoline in color black. I got it from Rumomasi Markets because I know someone might ask me where I got my crinoline from. I got it from Daddy Chidera's shop in Rumomasi. I've talked about my vendors in a different video, so check out that video if you want to know where I buy stuff from. But this is how I'm just playing around with my crinoline to just create some kind of embellishment at the back of my Zara cap. And that's it, guys. Once I went ahead to attach this crinoline at the back, my cap was ready.
All right, guys, so you guys see that making this is easy peasy, easy as ABC. Okay, it took me less than an hour to make this. If you go ahead to make this using this tutorial, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Remember that I used a regular fabric. It's a Mikado fabric. It's a non-stretchy fabric. That's why I had to put elastic behind. If you're using a stretchy fabric for yours, you might not necessarily have to put elastic behind. Just feel free to put elastic or do without it if you're using a stretchy fabric. But if you're using a non-stretchy fabric like satin or Mikado like me, or any other type of fabric in that family, please add elastic. And I hope we saw how I added elastic using my sewing machine. Again, if you enjoyed watching, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Okay, give me a big fat thumbs up. A lot of you guys loved the first part of this video, and I hope you guys show that same amount of energy or even more love to this video. Okay, so please hit the like button, subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully by now I've hit 16,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for 16K. Thank you so much for 2022. It was such a blast having you all come along with me on this journey this year, and I can't wait to see where God takes us to in the coming years. Merry Christmas in arrears or in advance, I really don't know, and Happy New Year to you all. I pray that this year brings us everything that we are hoping and praying for in Jesus' name. All right, guys, I'll see you in another one. Bye-bye.